subscribe. Darling Radio, like and subscribe.
All right, we're in the building. We are in the building, ladies and gentlemen, and you are in the building. Round of applause for you and all that good stuff. We are up in here. Welcome to the Tap In with Tariq. I'm here. I didn't do a live broadcast yesterday, but I'm here now. I'm here now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in the building. I'm glad to have you guys in here. If you guys can hear me good, if I'm nice and crisp, can everybody give me a thumbs up? That would be great. If you guys can hear me loud and clear and crisp, give me that thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. That would be greatly appreciated. Up in the building. There we go. Now, everybody give a retweet. And before we get started, you know how I got to get down. I have to give some shout outs to a lot of the regulars here. That's what I got to do first. And you got to show some respect to the regulars. And there's so many regulars in here, but we'll try to get as many as we can real quick. We got Cousin Jerry in the building, Obsidian, FBA Lamont. We got Tweets, The Farmer, Kenyatta, MRK, Jalan, No Cap, Abu, King Darius, Rhonda, Andre, Latita, Nene. We got Brother McCall. We got Sleepy. We got Ty Powell. We got Trinity, Maroc Sir Mike, Hoodoo Ernez Solon, Brother Raheem in the building, Wayne Dresky in the building. So shout out to everybody in here. A lot of stuff we're going to cover. I won't keep y'all too long, but we do have to cover a lot of pertinent things that's happening. If you guys have been following the draft, they finally drafted Shedeur Sanders to the Cleveland Browns. They finally drafted him. Round of applause to our brother Shedeur. Round of applause to him. And a lot of people still feel a kind of way about the way the league went about drafting him. They just kind of stalled out. They let his ranking go down. They didn't bring him in as a first-round draft pick, which they should have. And many people believe that the league was stalling him out all of this time in order to send a message. I talked about that the other day. Well, we're going to reiterate some of this stuff. So what kind of message were they trying to send Shedeur? What were they trying to say by stalling him out and not letting him get picked in the first round or the second round? So they just kind of stalled him when everybody knew that he should have went in early, but okay. And everybody started calling the league out. Even Donald Trump called the league out. He said, hey, what's going on with the NFL? Why are y'all not drafting this kid? What's going on? So what are they trying to say? Basically, they were colluding with each other, and the whole attitude was, well, you got to be humbled first. Yeah, we're going to bring you in, but yeah, a polished, confident black quarterback from a black, strong family. That defies the whole struggle narrative, and that's what the league likes. So letting him fall out of being drafted in the first round, that was to put him in his place. That was deliberate. That was them sending a message. And did y'all see this piece here when Shedeur had a phone? He bought a phone specifically for the league representatives to call him. He bought a phone. Nobody else had the number. And he said he only emailed the number to 2 people in the NFL, like 2 reps or something like that. He only emailed the number to a couple of people in the NFL, in the top brass. So they, when he gets drafted, call him at that number. And the number wasn't even in his name or nothing. And then some white dude called and pranked him. Some guy called up pretending to be from the Saints and was like, well, you're going to have to wait a little longer. And these guys who pranked him, they sat here taping themselves. They actually videoed and filmed themselves pranking him. And the white boy who pranked him goes to Ole Miss, right? I think he goes to Ole Miss. So people are like, okay, how the hell did this dude get the number? How did he get the number to prank Shedeur? How did he get the number? It had to be somebody from the NFL. That's the only way that dude could have gotten the number. Now, somebody said there's a high ranking rep at the NFL whose daughter goes to Ole Miss. And I think Shedeur, when they were talking about somebody getting the number, he was like, nah, somebody, I don't know, I'm not going to say it was somebody from the NFL directly. It could have been one of their kids or something, but yeah, nobody has this number. So this shows it was an inside thing. They were in on the antagonism. This was very deliberate antagonism towards Shedeur to send a message. It was like, we still control your destiny. Regardless of talent, the league, they want to reinforce that black athletes' future are subject to white control institutions, not their own merit or their family background. These folks really have a problem with black fathers steering their children in the right direction. People really have a problem with that. We're going to get into that in a second. But independent black leadership is a threat. Shedeur comes from an independent, powerful black family that didn't go through the traditional NCAA systems of gatekeepers. The NFL, they don't like players who can operate without being fully handled by the traditional power structures. Like I keep saying, they love a trauma porn story with a benevolent white savior. They love somebody. Well, I'm so glad I got drafted. I grew up in the projects. My mama gave me away to a white family down the street, and they were football fans, and they used to throw the ball at me, and they taught me how to be a good player. They like my second family. They white mommy, white daddy. They love that shit. It was one I literally just saw a video of one of I forgot the guy's name, an athlete whose story is just like that. Some white family took him in, and when he was getting drafted, he's all in there skinning and grinning with the white family. They love that. They love white benevolence. They love the white savior. A white person saved a little downtrodden Negro from the ghetto. They love those kind of stories. It's the God Jesus complex story. But when it's a black kid who had a black family who guided and trained and structured him for success, oh, hey man, that little Negro is arrogant. Oh no, no, no. He's a little too cocky for me. You see, they start playing that game. You see, they don't like for him to be too polished and well raised if it's a black family that's raising him. So a confident, well-spoken black man from a two-parent home, that disrupts all the stereotypes. And there's a quiet resentment when an athlete doesn't come from hardships that they can exploit for inspirational storylines. See, they always got to put themselves as the white savior. And confidence equals arrogance if you're black. See, Shedeur, he carries himself with confidence. He knows his worth. And in the eyes of the NFL, that crosses an invisible line where black confidence, that's like insubordination. No, no, no. You supposed to be humble. You supposed to be groveling. You supposed to be mush mouthed. And you're not supposed to have your own brand. See, Shedeur, listen, he's gonna make the Cleveland Browns hot. He's gonna make that franchise hot. He's going to make that franchise pop off. People are already talking about getting Cleveland Brown jersey. So Shedeur is going to really, really make Cleveland pop off. His presence. He has the star power already. And he already has a brand. So they don't like black athletes having their own brand before they approve it. Because see, they like to give and take away. If they didn't give you the brand, they can't really take it away. You see? So yeah, Shedeur already has deals. He already has endorsement deals, public attention outside of the NFL approval. So they want you to earn the brand power after you submit to the league, is that type of thing. And just like my brother Mikhail just sent me, this is why, again, they prefer this is why they're going for the foreign athletes now. They want some athlete from Ghana, Nigeria, so they can exploit the story, so they can exploit a trauma porn story. They're trying to get these African athletes, and they're trying to scout them now so that they can say, "Hey, look, we got this poor, downtrodden, hungry, starving player out of his little dilapidated village, and we brought him into some white exchange student homes, and they groomed him and taught him how to bathe, and they got that little bushmeat out of his system, and now look at him. Say hi, Emmanuel Ocho. Hello." So that's what they like. They that's why they're going for the foreigners, because the foreigners are going to be very grateful. They know they're not going to rock the boat. And let's be real, a lot of this is disrespect of Deion Sanders by extension. Um, he's been very vocal, he's self-made, he's been critical of the NCAA and the NFL systems. So, and he's retired from being a player. He's a coach now, but they're trying to get at Dion by proxy. And see, the league, they like to decide who the face of the future is going to be. They like to handpick the next generation's icons. So letting Shedeur glide into superstardom without a lesson, see, they got to kind of haze them a little bit. This is what they want to do. That's going to disrupt their plans for who represents the NFL brands moving forward. And exceptional black families, they still got to be checked. So if you come from a strong black family, you have intelligence, marketability, skill. They still want to let you know that you're not exempt from racial gatekeeping. You still got to go through the fire. You see. So yeah, there's racial undertones to it. Don't let it. I don't let people practice little racist things and then act like they're not doing it. And some people are like, "Well, there were black players. Hey, come on now, come on, Tariq. How is this racial? There were black players who got drafted. No, no, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, they didn't come from the background of Shedeur. See, they don't have a problem with these other black athletes because yeah, they're sitting on a rent-a-center sofa with their single mother in the projects, waiting to get drafted, and then everybody celebrates, and it's a rags to riches story. They have no problem with that. That's the ideal story. They have a problem with Shedeur because um that's not the ideal story of a black person who came from a strong, functional black family. They don't want that. And even the white fans, some of them have been acting funny style, trying to use code words. Let's be real. A lot of these white supremacist suspects, they've been in the comments. They're happy that he didn't get a first round draft pick. Why are they so happy? They were celebrating. Oh, like, yeah, he didn't get first round. Oh God, he didn't get second. Oh, that's so great. Why is that so great? Huh? Why is that so great? And they can never tell you because they keep pushing the goalpost. They'll say one thing and then push the goalpost down the field a little bit more. See, Shador represents black confidence without permission. So the dominant society, they like to look at black success as being some kind of gift that was allowed to them by benevolent white people. And Dion, he broke that generational curse of poverty and all of that. So Shedeur is a direct beneficiary. And a lot of people resent seeing generational black wealth passed down cleanly without traditional tragic setbacks. They don't like that because, see, that becomes habit forming. You see that example of a black family passing generational wealth down, doing it the right way, not pissing all of their money off, not getting caught up in a scandal, because that's what they like to do. A black person who makes some money, they make sure that there's a scandal there. They make sure there's some drugs there. They make sure that there's some kind of weird death that happened and the money is all tied up. You understand? They make sure there's some real funny business going on with their money where they can't pass it down cleanly to a descendant. So, Dion didn't let that happen. And Shedeur, he doesn't fit the humble Negro archetype. See, they like their athletes to be overly grateful, meek, and humble. They love somebody who's mush mouth. Ooh, I got to give my mama a house. I'm gonna make my mama quit her job as a maid, and she's a lunch lady. I gotta help my mama. I'm gonna make my mama a house. I'm gonna get her house and all my brothers and sisters. They love that rags to riches. I want to buy my mama a house and get her out of poverty. And they like to show a white sports agent or a white coach acting as the father figure. They love that. Oh, that's their dream. And when they don't have that, everybody's arrogant. Yeah. And they don't like to show black fathers as powerful leaders. You see, that's why they don't like LeVar Ball. They didn't like Earl Woods, Tiger Woods' dad. They had a bug in their ass about Richard Williams, Serena and Venus's dad. These powerful, strong black men who cultivated the talents of their children. They don't like that. Because, see, that disrupts the stereotype of black fatherlessness. See, they love running around here talking about ain't no fathers in the black community and all of that stuff. They love running around with that nonsense. The whole black father absentee myth. They like to portray black fathers as irresponsible deadbeats. So when black dads raise focused, elite level children, it shatters the damn lie right in front of their faces. Yeah. And that shows the black family structure can produce global black excellence. Strong black fathers equal strong family support, world class talent. So that exposes that black excellence, it's not a fluke, it's not an accident. It's a result of deliberate planning, love, and structure. And that scares institutions, man, that's been built on the idea of black success being rare, lucky, and there was a white savior there guiding the way. See, that's the most important thing. There has to be some kind of white savior there. And it challenges that whole white gatekeeper authority. They love having the sports agents, the coaches, and the owners and the managers as the father figures. They love that. And the mom sitting over here with her wig crooked. They love a crooked wig single mother. They love that, especially if she was on the pipe at one point. Oh, they love that. And don't let a white family have fed the Negro. If a white family gave him one sandwich, they're gonna do a damn movie of the family. They're gonna do a damn movie and have Brad Pitt and um, Sarah Michelle Gellar play the damn white mama or somebody. They're gonna get somebody very white, and then they're gonna get the person to play the athlete to be real big Sambo, just like did in The Blind Side. Michael Orr, he hated the way they portrayed him in The Blind Side. Michael Orr, and what my partner, who a former NFL player, he played with Michael Orr. Michael Orr was a beast with it. Michael Orr was fast and he was quick. He was like Michael Orr wasn't moping around the damn field. Like in The Blind Side, like Big Mike, they had him like a big goofball, big doofus walking around, can't hardly talk, mush mouth, calling Sandra Bland mama. Hey, mama, you gonna throw the ball to me today? Thank you, mama. He's just moping around all slow and Michael Orr was like, yeah, I wasn't doing all that now, damn. I know the studio, they get creative license, but damn, y'all got me looking like that. So yeah, he wasn't doing all that. And you got to watch that. You got to watch that. how they portray. They're gonna make you as Sambo-ish as possible. Or they're gonna sell it. It's gonna be like an episode of Different Strokes. They love that. They love somebody bucking their eyes up in a white person's house. What you talking about, Willis? They love that. They love that. And that's the story that they love to run with. And when you have a black father say, ain't nobody bucking their eyes, ain't nobody eating cheese sandwiches and government milk. No, no, we're fine. We're fine. I just disciplined my boys and I made them get out there and work hard. Well, your son is he's a little cocky. He's a little flashy. Yeah, he has to humble himself for the league. They try to play them little games. You see, and with Shedeur, uh, the great thing about him, see, he understands financial literacy already. See, he's already, talking about money moves and he's getting deals and he's doing financial strategy. So he's not going to be exploited. They're not going to, make him trick his little money off. So that's another thing. They like for athletes to be dumb and exploitable so that white folks can come in and finesse their damn money, which is why they said a lot of athletes, like 5 years after they retire, most of them go broke. There's some white people out here finessing their ass. So with a black player with a strong black father like Shedeur, yeah, you're not going to finesse him out of his paper. So they have an issue with that type of stuff. You see, real heavy stuff. Let me get some calls in here. We do have a lot of Nathaniel. What is it, dude? Oh God, Nathaniel, stop. You just trying to be contrary. Boy, you so damn oppy. You just contrary for the sake of being contrary. All right, let me get some folks in here. Nikki, the guy, Marcel, I see y'all in here. Um, y'all raise your hand. Let me talk to the family in here. Let me talk to the family. Let's get Hitman, the producer. Let's get Hitman in the building. Mr. Hitman, hop on in, sir. Hitman, hop on in. Oh, waiting on Hitman. Everybody else raise your hands. There you go.
Hello?
What's up, Hitman?
What's going on, good brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. Now, I was basically like, I basically was feeling what you were saying, like, because I grew up in a two-family household, you know what I'm saying, which is very rare. But,
Yeah.
like, I grew up in a two-family household and all that shit. Like, my dad had me in karate. I was playing basketball. I ain't started playing football until high school and all that shit. But, like, I get what you, like, I get the narrative they trying to set. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it came to Shedeur, like, I'm like, yo, bro, like you said, LeVar Ball. But when the Manners did it, it was cool.
Yeah, right, right.
When the
Yep.
Manners did it, that shit was cool. They could dictate where they want to go. They could do this. They could do that. So it was like it was kind of funny. So I'm like, oh shit. So they're not gonna do good. And I feel like they also did that shit. They picked Shedeur up in the fifth round, so they don't gotta pay him a lot of money. They don't gotta pay him
Right.
the first three picks. You know what I mean? They don't gotta pay him that much.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's part of it too. So yeah, it was a play to try to humble him and try to reduce his value. So, he's still gonna rise above that, man. He's about to be phenomenal. And I can't wait to see what the brother does out there, man. And I can't wait to see the endorsements he gets. So I'm really rooting for him. Minka, what's up, Minka? Miss Minka, unmute your microphone, please. Minka, you want to unmute your mic? There you go.
Good morning, everyone, friends. I am from in India.
Oh
My
Lord.
name is
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
Menka. Follow me immediately. Follow back.
Okay, Minka, go out there with your cow. Go on with your cow, ma'am. I know these Indians call up with this bullshit every night. Every night they call up trying to finesse. They be trying. Don't y'all follow them? They don't follow them. They're running a finesse family. Don't you follow them? Don't y'all follow them? They call me every night with that shit. Hello, Tariq. My name is Tariq. I am in Mumbai and I want everybody to follow me. I got good deals. No, no, my nigga. No, 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 no. Go on about your business, Tattleish. Go on about your goddamn business. We won't want nothing. If I want a Slurpee, I go down to 7-Eleven on the corner. I don't need nothing. I don't want to hear it. Take it on somewhere. Hey, every night with that shit, man. Damn. All right, let me get some more people on here. Let's get Monkey King. Monkey King in the building. Monkey King in the building. Hop on in, Monkey King, and unmute your microphone.
Hey, what's going on, Tariq?
Hey, I'm good, Monkey King. How are you, sir?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. I just want to chime in on that Shedeur Sanders thing, man. I think they're just trying to attack Dion because they're gonna lower his drafting value for the College of Colorado. Because if you look what they did to his sons, then anybody else, any prospects that want to come over to the school, will think twice because it's like, oh shit. So they're trying to crush him in the college, the college area.
Okay. Yes, that's another angle that can be very valid. Thank you, brother. Family. Bushmeat barrister, what is it?
Um, you're spewing lies. You're basically not telling the entire story with the
What's
whole Shedeur.
what's the story?
Well, why are you leaving out the fact that the first pick in the NFL draft was a foundational Black American, Cameron Ward? He came from a two-parent household. His family's not as rich as
They're
Shedeur.
working class people. They're working class people.
No, they,
They're
no,
working class
they're
people.
above, but they're not in poverty.
Right,
Okay,
but they're not
and
wealthy.
both,
They're
but both of
humble.
them,
They're
both of
working.
them,
Slow down, Bushmeat. Slow down. You can't even get your trolling out. They're a working class family. So
they're
they're
not
not
a.
balling out. They're not balling out. They don't have a whole bunch of money. They're a humble working class family. That's not a story that bothers the dominant society. They don't have a problem with that. They don't have a problem with the working class family, very humble. They have a problem with somebody black coming from a wealthy family who's not groveling and scraping and bucking his eyes. Not saying that Cam Ward is doing that. But yeah, they got a problem when you come from a wealthy family, when you are a media icon already. Cam Ward is not a media player
Yes,
right now. He's not a big media player right now.
well, I'm not sure if you are aware, both of them are friends, and both of them have the same quarterback coach. And if you
Mm,
see their if you actually see their videos, they train each other. They compete against each other. You'll
right.
see, you'll see that Cam Ward is way better than Shedeur Sanders, and that's why he was the number one overall pick. Number two, I don't. I mean, basically,
But
the reason why he
Bushmeat, but let's be real. They picked like a whole bunch of people over Shedeur that wasn't better than him, and you know that. What was that white quarterback, Tyler something, in the video clip of Tyler throwing
Tyler,
that brick ass ball?
Tyler
Throwing that,
Tyler Show has better intangibles. He has a way better arm. He
oh,
actually has
we
a
like
much
we
better
didn't
arm.
see him throwing that damn brick. Like we didn't see him throwing a goddamn brick, man. Come on.
Should
Go ahead, Bushmeat. Go ahead, Bushmeat.
The bottom line is the reason why Shedeur fell to the fifth round is that he just wasn't good enough. That's
That's
it.
not true.
That he wasn't good
No,
enough. That was
no.
that is
All
it.
them other players were not better than
Yes,
him.
they
That's
were.
bullshit.
Jalen
No, they
Milrow.
weren't.
He
All
had
them other
he didn't
players.
have.
Hold on. Disrespectful P. Let me get disrespectful P in here. But yeah, all of them players were not better than him. Damn, that's not true. Disrespectful P. Hop on.
What's going on, Flex?
What's up, brother?
I'm just listening to Barrett. You don't know nothing about football, do you?
You don't know. I know a whole lot about football. I follow Colorado football for the past 2 years, and I know for a
Congratulations.
fact.
So
I
real
know
quick, we
for a
talking
fact.
about just listen for a second. Listen for a second, right? The reason why everybody from Donald J. Trump to Chad Ochocinco are scratching their heads trying to figure out how Shedeur Sanders, the number two ranked quarterback on everybody's board and number 10 overall best player, falls to 144. It doesn't make sense unless they're trying to teach somebody a lesson. Now, Dallas needed a quarterback, Pittsburgh needed a quarterback, the Browns needed a quarterback. Guess what? The Lions could have used a quarterback. See, all these teams that have quarterbacks are almost out the door. The Jets could have took them. It's so many different teams. That could. Matter of fact, Jacksonville. could have took him. Traded Trevor Lawrence for 3 first round. It's so many things they could have done with this situation just because of the chip. It would have been to have the Sanders guy there. So the fact that they didn't take him, even if he was a bum quarterback, even if he was, it's a quarterback. They only took 3. They even said there's only 2 quarterbacks in this draft even worth looking at. They were talking about Shedeur and Cam Ward. Cam Ward was number 1, made sense. Travis Hunter number 2 makes sense. After that, it doesn't make sense not to take him. That's why you see some teams who took offensive linemen. It made sense because they already have a quarterback. People with quarterbacks like Kansas City is not taking a quarterback. The Eagles wouldn't take a quarterback. But it doesn't make sense for Dallas to pass. Doesn't make sense for the Giants to pass. It doesn't make sense for the Browns to pass as many times they did. So this is a bunch of bullshit, and this is why we can't take y'all serious. Like, you don't know enough about this sport to come here talking.
I know more about this sport than you. Basically, there's a process in the draft. There's a draft process, and basically, he did not do well at all in the interviews. Basically, according to
Who's
Shedeur,
the
he
board
said
named after?
what you said.
They call it a draft board. Who's the board named after? If you watch it so much,
What do you mean a draft board?
who's a draft expert?
Mel Kiper, those are experts, though. You gotta listen to the NFL scouts and the
What did he
coaches.
say?
Huh? He ranked him number 1, but he's just an analyst.
No, you just said he was an expert.
He's not an expert. He's not an expert. He's an ESPN analyst. You have to look at the NFL scouts
He's an
and the coaches.
ESPN expert analyst.
Yo, disrespectful. The main thing is that you got to listen to the NFL scouts and the coaches, and the NFL scouts and coaches essentially said that he was not good enough,
Bro,
and
you
that's true.
just said,
He was not.
hold on,
He
wait.
was
You
not
just
that good
said,
enough.
I'm sorry. You just said that a white quarterback taken above Shedeur Sanders had better intangibles.
Yes, he
Shedeur
did.
Sanders came from Jackson State University to a Power 5 school in Colorado.
Because of his father. His father.
Listen. He
Okay.
led a bunch of transfer graduates, right, to a 4-win season of a team that didn't win a single game before that. And then the very next year, they doubled the wins. That is unheard of in a program that fast.
A lot of the teams that.
So,
Okay,
that right there
let
is
me speak.
the
Let me speak. Let me speak.
listen.
Let me speak. No, let me
That's
speak.
the definition of intangibles.
No. Intangibles is that he's kind of short. He's not that tall for a quarterback. He doesn't have
That's a
great arm
tangible.
strength.
Height is a tangible, sir.
He's
Yeah.
six
No.
foot two. He's six
He
two.
doesn't have.
Drew
But
Brees is 6 feet
the
tall.
typical quarterback height is 6'4", basically.
That's not true. Drew Brees is
Yes, it
6
Not
is.
feet.
true. Not
Drew
That's
Brees
an
true.
is 6
exception.
feet.
That's it.
Kyler Murray is 6. Kyler Murray is 6
Those are
feet.
except because they can run
Baker
really
Mayfield is
fast.
6 feet.
They can run really
Johnny
fast. That's
Manziel is
why.
6 feet. I can go on and on. You don't know enough about the sport.
Johnny Manziel was a bust.
He
Johnny
got drafted
Manziel
number
was a
1,
bust.
right? He got
He
drafted
was
number 1.
drafted, and the reason why he got drafted number 1 is because he had other intangibles, like he can run really
Like getting
fast,
drunk before the draft.
and he
Like
can
getting
run.
kicked out of the league. He was doing
And
all of this shit before the league. Shedeur ain't never had no
the,
problems like
the
this.
here's the thing: the NFL is a TOE league. They're talent over everything. Basically, if you have talent, then you could be. Basically, you could go ahead and be a convicted felon, be drunk all the
What are
time.
you talking about, man?
Yeah, if you have talent, you go. The NFL doesn't really care. You'll be
Wait,
still
wait, wait, wait.
number 1.
With a straight face, are you really trying to convince us that Shedeur Sanders, who was projected number 2
He was
quarterback
not
in the draft, is
most.
justified being taken 144th?
Yes, basically
I think
he
you're
was.
just
He
trying
was.
to be.
No, I'm not being.
You
The
just trying to
NFL
be
scouts.
contrary, Bushy
No,
I
Badger.
I'm
appreciate the
not. The
explanation,
NFL
man.
scouts. The NFL
Hey, stop
scouts.
yelling, bro. We can hear you just fine. We got our
The
headphones in.
NFL scouts said that he was not that good. I
That's
believe the
not what they
scouts. Oh,
said.
yes, they
That's not
did.
what they said.
Yes, they did.
They
They
were
had.
what? They were impressed with him.
They
That's
didn't
what
say
they were
they were
saying.
He
impressed with
felt.
him.
He
They
felt
were
a bunch of.
impressed.
I'll be more than happy to share what the one NFL scout said about him. It was the worst interview that he ever had.
How you know
He
this? This is
bombed.
an anonymous source. We don't even
No,
know if that's true or not.
that was an it was
Who said it?
top, but an anonymous NFL scout said it was
Oh,
probably
an
the
Whoa,
worst
anonymous
really,
source
interview.
told.
Bushmeat? You quoting an anonymous scout? Really?
The
Yeah, that's
numerous
crazy.
sources said that he bombed in a bunch of interviews. He did not
Listen,
interview well.
Barrister,
If you
Barrister,
don't
Barrister.
interview,
You just said the league was talent over everything, right?
yes,
Cool. So that negates that. Look, anonymous source told
he
me,
doesn't have NFL talent. If he had an ounce of Dion's
Barrister,
talent, he would have
Barrister,
been drafted
Barrister,
in the first round. He's not
Barrister,
that
Barrister,
good.
Barrister. An anonymous source told me you was dating Halle Berry.
An NFL scout
Yeah, I think
basically
we all
has had
believe that. Appreciate it, Flex,
numerous.
man. Y'all have a nice day.
Thank you,
You
brother.
guys don't know nothing about the NFL. Nothing.
Okay. I honestly think that you're Kanye's cousin that got his dick sucked by Kanye. That's who I
Go
think you
ahead
are.
with the insults. He's
Yeah,
not
that's
that
who I
good.
think
That's
you
the
are.
reason why
You
he
got your dick
dropped.
sucked by
The
Kanye.
reason
Yeah,
why he got dropped, he
I'll
fell
land.
to the fifth round was because he sucks. He's not that good. He doesn't have any intangibles. He's not that athletic. He doesn't have a good arm.
Man, you sound like a butt pirate, man. You don't even know what the you're talking
And you
about,
sound
man.
like you sound very ignorant. You don't know shit
No.
about football.
Oh, really? I coach
Yes,
football.
you,
I played football. How
yeah,
about you?
and
How about you?
hey, I have individuals I know people who are actual scouts. And they say,
Bushmeat. You sound.
Bushmeat was a male cheerleader. He was a musty Laker girl. He was a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. That's how Bushmeat knows the game. Bushmeat was out there in some cowboy boots and a mini skirt.
at the end of the day, there's a strong possibility he can be cut. He has to compete against 4 other quarterbacks.
Joey Flacco is my age. I'm 48. He's going to beat the white
Joe,
boy. And Deshaun Watson, he has an MRI injury. He's not coming
and
back
they
until
and
2026.
the Browns drafted a quarterback in the 3rd round, Dylan Gabriel, and he's not going to beat out Dylan Gabriel because
Oh, he's
Dylan
going to
Gabriel.
destroy him.
No, he's not.
Him.
Gabriel has it. He has
Oh,
heart.
God.
He's basically he has
You
way
sound
more
like
heart
a moron.
and way more drive than Shedeur. He's not
Oh,
entitled.
God.
The reason why he fell is because Shedeur is just an entitled, privileged quarterback. He doesn't really want it, and he doesn't have any intangibles. If he had
all
any,
the intangibles. He's
if he
6'2"
has,
and he can throw. He's accurate as
no,
hell.
he does. Accurate is nothing, basically, and he's not that.
Oh,
he doesn't have a strong arm. If he
You
had
sound
any
like a
athletic
flaming
ability,
butt pirate.
if he had any athletic ability, then he would have been drafted in the 1st round. If he had
Okay.
any ounce of talent,
All right,
like
Bushmeat.
Deion Sanders.
All right, Bushmeat. Thank you, Bushmeat. Lord. All right, enough of Bushmeat. Good Lord. That's Bushmeat Barrister. Thank you, Ty. Thank you, Brother D. Thank you, Bushmeat Barrister. Good Lord. Bushmeat's just being contrary to be contrary. Nay, what's up, dear?
Hey, Tariq, I just wanted to say hi. Me and my husband listen to you whenever we catch it live, and that's all I wanted to say. I didn't want to get involved in all that football
there you
talk.
go. All right, shout out to you and your hubby. Much respect to y'all. Oh, goodness gracious. All right.